You know that show When Life Gives You Tangerines? People have been going on and on about it. The people is me, and I'm the people. It's been months since the show released, since I watched all its episodes, cried and sobbed, liked all possible posts, written poems, recommended people on gunpoint to watch it, and done it all over and over again. Why? Because Life Gives You Tangerines feels familiar. And I'm not alone. People across the internet have flooded comments on how the show feels like home, feels like healing, and it baffled me. Because, when Life Gives You Tangerines is not a generic story, it is complex, unique, and one that has very few predecessors. It is beautiful, but it is its own kind of beauty, which is enhanced by the fact or rumors, I'm not sure, about it being inspired by a true story. How come people across the world are relating to this? So I did what every unemployed villa person would do: Google. So I came across this, where the forward notes: the stories we tell, the tales we love to hear and repeat, all share certain features which reach out across geographical and temporal borders, bridging the gap between people and place. If a published author says that, it feels a little more legitimate, right? Anyways. Well, quantum theory says that one particle can exist in two spaces. This does not make it two particles. It is the same particle existing in two spaces. Particles can be waves, and waves can exist in two spaces. That doesn't make it two different waves now. It is the same wave existing in two different spaces. Now, brain waves, which are oscillating electrical voltages in the brain measuring just a few millions of volts, are, well, waves too. Now, I know my bizarre quantum overanalysis holds little ground, but the same wave can exist in two places. Similar waves perhaps exist in too many places than we give it credit for. We are, whether we like it or not, whether my bizarre theories prove it or not, are living similar lives. Which makes it so much more ironic, right? Because it seems like structures of authority and power thrive on differences. There's always a reason to hate a friend, to gossip about a neighbor, to wish worst for a neighboring country, and so much worse for someone from a different religion, caste, and even gender. There are economies, cultures, laws, and orders, policies functioning on the fact that people are different, and such differences need to be maintained and contained for them to be successful. But no matter what they do, there will always be stories. Stories of people who have suffered, who have lost, and who have loved. And these stories will be read, will be watched, will be heard. And someone with many differences piled up will still relate and shed a tear. Someone who shared a piece of their life would melt hierarchies built on generations of differences. And as for When Life Gives You Tangerines, here's a little ode to you. I think about tangerines and I think about home. I know home is in Jeju Islands. There's no sea that has ever swallowed anyone in my life. There were never tangerines where I grew, or where my mother grew, or where my mother's mother grew. There were lemons and mangoes and pain. My dad never swam an ocean. My mom is not an orphan. My grandma didn't dive and never lost a brother. But the smell of the tangerines plucked on a precious day remains, like a memory from many universes intertwined. I forget to write, I remember to cry, and in my fragments I long for peace. Peace, Peace in a home where my mother's back doesn't hurt every time she works, where she doesn't have to work every time. Peace in a home where my father becomes what he dreamt of, where he doesn't have to smile through the pain of his veins. Peace in a home where my grandmother does not repeat in fear the same questions that her dementia demands for her to forget. Peace in a home where my grandfather rubs my father's back and tells him to come to him when he wants to give up. I think about Tangerines, I think about home, about his favorite daughter, about her poems, about their son's twisted dreams and innocent smile, about the fear of not having enough rice to feed a family of four, about the shame of asking for money, about the people who wipe her tears, about the people who wipe my mother's tears. I think about home, and of the many homes the branches of this tree hangs its fruit to, and the laborious beauty of sharing tangerines.